Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. How are you? Welcome to the show at Rise Up Show with me, your host, the Queen Bee, Dani. How are you feeling? As we chat this morning to the devilishly handsome, the fabulously wonderful, the incredibly knowledgeable Mr. Fidel Hill, the modern man. Good morning. Jodie Sol, good morning. Bavna Reddy, good morning. Elise Woodbine, good morning. The devilishly handsome Ian Dixon, good morning, sir.
Shut up, for f***'s sake. Jesus.
The fantastic Lizzie Jackson Barrett, good morning. Josephine Sandra, everybody, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday. Welcome to the show, Rise Up Show. I've been MIA on and off for the past few weeks, right? Well, certainly for the past week, I wasn't presenting the show last week. We had like a whole takeover from some of the most incredible hosts. And then yesterday as well, the glorious Shell Showett came and stood in for you, girl. You'll be pleased to know that from here on in, for the foreseeable future, I am back. There's been loads of things that I've been sort of juggling and making sure that we'll be keeping on top of. And as ever, leading from the front, looking after my family first, making sure that my clients are looked after, and all of that is absolutely top priority. One of the nice things about this show is that we get an opportunity to share the stage. We get an opportunity, or I get an opportunity for the people that I work with to come and take the helm, to steer the ship when I'm not here. So I want to give a huge shout out to every single one of my, let me move this way. The whole point of having these things is to hide the mess of my room behind me. Is I don't have a beautiful backdrop. I don't have a beautiful like bedroom as well, you know. But yeah, I just wanted to give a huge shout out to my two incredible client groups from the various cohorts of Be Inspired, all of which you will be able to see Be Inspired on the 22nd and 23rd of April. So tickets are now on sale. If you've not got your ticket yet to Be Inspired, what are you waiting for? There are some incredible speakers. In fact, every single speaker has either worked with me or is associated with me, or I have gone out and found for you to bring you 2 full days, motivation, inspiration, celebration. My God, we've survived a whole year of lockdown, y'all. Like, we have done some mega things together, and it's going to be really, I think, the full stop in all of these sort of online summits that we've been experiencing. It's going to be nothing like this community has ever seen before. You want to be involved. Also, the tickets are 89 quid, right? Tickets are 89 quid. But we have this wicked affiliate program whereby if you go and share that with 4 people, and 4 people buy their tickets, you get the cost of your ticket back. For every ticket that you sell, you get 25 quid back. So it's a nice little money spinner for those of you that are members of the community that really love and already share what we do. If you want to get involved with it, then make sure you grab your ticket so you can be a part of the affiliate scheme. So we're going to be rallying our affiliates within the next week. We are just about 6 weeks away from the event itself. I am going to be taking all of our speakers to a location in the Midlands, to a TV studio. We've got pyrotechnics, fireworks, we've got all sorts going off. We've got entertainment for you. It is going to be absolutely incredible. Nothing like any of our community have seen so far yet. So make sure you get your tickets to Be Inspired. Tickets are on sale now. If you want to get a ticket, put tickets in the comments and we will hook you up. Right. Okay. How are we feeling? I've got some exciting news. Stop the press. I've got some exciting news. So we complete on our house a week on Friday. We're going to be moving in. I am so excited. For those of you that are new to the show that don't know my story, 10 years ago, I was in a position whereby I was homeless with my 2 under 3-year-olds. It was a really difficult time. We were sofa surfing. We were overcoming a life that we had experienced prior that involved domestic abuse. It was crackers, absolutely crackers. And we have built ourselves up. And I say we, me and my family, have built ourselves up from that point to next week when we close the deal, we seal the deal, and I get the keys on our dream house. I cannot wait. But today, get to go in. So whoever's been on House Watch with me has been with me as I have seen every single brick go on this house. I've been sat outside. The builders think I'm a stalker. I'm sat outside the house. I'm like waving at the joiners as they're going in. Oh, you're going in my house. Oh, I'm excited. Make sure you do it nice for me. Like I've been cheerleading him on my lunch times, on my lunch breaks. It's about 5 minutes up the road. But today I actually get to go inside my new house. So probably expect a live later on. I cannot wait. But yeah, that's a house update. So please let me know where you're watching from in the world. We have a global audience, which I'm massively excited about. So even though we have a UK map on the board behind me, if anyone's wondering about the UK map, actually it's to do the shit weather. Generally what happens is you tell me where you're watching from in the UK or indeed the rest of the world, and you tell me what the weather's doing. Now for the UK, it tends to be these two things here: the it's a bit shit and the rainy bee. In Preston this morning, it is pretty rainy, but please do let me know what the weather's doing where you are. It's a very British thing to talk about the weather. So please let me know where you're watching from in the world. If you are watching from abroad, then we will represent you underneath the compass up here. We do have South Wales in the house. Erica, tell us what's happening. It's pissing it down in Norwich. Cloudy and windy. It's a bit shit in Lanzarote, Joe Gilbert. There we go. Nottingham, it's grey AF. So we'll give you an it's a bit shit. You're around here, Nottingham, aren't you? Somewhere here. Something like that. We'll have to move us out there. There we go. Chester's rainy as well. We've got you in the northwest. Right, you lot. Okay. So this morning, I've got two guests on. Not one, but two guests. And I did some work with the company that my guests are from a little bit earlier this year. I was really, really honoured to be able to go and speak as part of an event that they were putting on for their members of staff, franchisees. We're talking all things golf. Now then, when I did this and I had this conversation with this incredible team, I was like, golf? I don't play golf. It's not, I mean, I don't play sport at the best of time. I mean, your girl don't even run to the toilet. But golf. And actually, the more I learned about this company, the more I fell in love with them. The more I was like, oh my God, they are absolutely completely aligned with everything that IATQB is all about. And I could not wait to go and speak to their people. Now, I kind of jumped the gun a little bit and got myself, I thought, into the mood and turned up with my pink, I want to show you, with my pink golf visor. Look, watch. Because I wanted to fit in. So I don't like, I feel like, oh, hang on, I like Norman Wisdom. Wait, let me get it straight. I feel like if I was going to speak to a lot of golf coaches, and what have you, I thought I'd better look the part. So I got myself a pink visor because I was talking to the people that run the company. I was like, I really, I want to fit in. I don't want to like stand out too far. And then they told me that actually that's not what they're all about. But to tell us more about the whole situation, please welcome from love.golf, the fabulous Nicola Stroud and Alistair Spink. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
I thought I was fitting in with the pink golf visor. I thought I would fit in with the golf wives.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, it's known fact we all wear visors.
I don't have one.
I feel like Nick's letting the side down with the lack of golf visor. But actually, one of the things that we did have a laugh about is there are lots of misconceptions and preconceptions about golfing, the golf community, and women's involvement in golf. And that's what we're going to be talking about this morning, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So I think we do need to start by setting the scene. And so it is important just to say, totally ridiculous. We need to start changing perceptions. And so certainly we won't be using the visor word during our chat.
So we were talking, and we're going to talk about what Love.Golf is all about, and the roles that you play within it. But one of the things that we were laughing about as we were preparing for your event back in January was that this whole idea of the perfect pink visor situation, the beautifully manicured sort of middle-aged women who were playing golf really for the cocktails as opposed to the actual playing of the golf. These women with too much time on their hands, etc., etc. And what the beautiful thing about getting to know you guys and Love.Golf is that actually the preconceptions and the misconceptions are exactly that. They're misconceptions. So what I would love for both of you, tell me more about what it is that you do and what Love.Golf is all about.
Okay, well, if I kick it off, and I think I would just go back and say, there is a place for that market.
100%. 100%.
It's just not a place that we wish to occupy.
Right.
But all respect to tradition before
100%.
I say anything else.
There are caveats that everything is valid,
exactly.
And we're not judging, but creating niches is important.
Yeah. It's an important market, but it's just not one that we want to go to. And where we want to go is we want to go into much more of a marketplace where probably golf's not on their radar. It's something that, as you say, they probably haven't done before. So we wanted to offer something that is empowering, that offers choice and self-discovery and personal success. And you can do that with golf if you deliver it in the right way and you use the right tone and you use the right imagery. And that's what we're really about. It's kind of, golf can look like that, but we're going to look really, really different. We're looking for a completely different marketplace where if you come along to a Love.Golf project, it will sound really different. And we're just going to go out and play and see what happens. And the coach will react to that ever-changing situation.
Right, and this is the so tell us more specifically about Love.Golf. What is it?
It's in a nutshell, it's a women's group coaching program, and started in 2011. And it started just with me, so I just came up with an idea and thought, we need to do something. We need to change golf. We need to kind of move with the times. And so I created a project. It was strange because when I created a poster, and we thought, okay, we're going to put it out on social media and just kind of see what happens. And the golf industry were like, well, you can't put a poster out that doesn't have a picture of a female golfer or a visor, might I say, onto the poster. And of course, I just said, but that's not who I was looking for. I didn't want that sort of person. So my poster to get more women playing golf was 4 women in a rock band wearing jeans and trainers. And it's a really empowering kind of stance. And it just kind of said, looking to try something different, sign up here. And 50 women signed up straight away.
Amazing. Just by making it that little bit more accessible. And I think bringing women into what is generally perceived as a man's game is necessary. As we've just had International Women's Day, and I'm so glad that we've got you guys on this week, particularly as we are talking about women taking up more space. Actually, women taking up more space in more sports is important, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's you've got to have diversity and equality, but also there's going to be more girls coming through and wanting to get involved in sport, and they need to see younger women being celebrated across sport, and so that they have something to inspire and aspire to.
Right.
And so I appreciate that's a big topic because that's a whole cultural change. But
it is a cultural change, but how incredible is it, even in your corner of the world, in the corner of sport, that you are starting to generate these conversations? I mean, this is the kind of show where we do have these big conversations, where we do have a look at, how do we enter these spaces? How do we do it? I imagine that loads of you that are watching at home right now didn't even know that there was something like this there that you could access. Let me know in the comments, how many of you have thought, oh, do you know what? I really quite fancy going to play golf. Unless it's pub golf or crazy golf, which I happen to be very good at, by the way. How many of you watching have thought that this is something that you even could or would want to access? I'm really interested to know, because like you say, having this sort of inaccessibility, this kind of boys club situation that goes on from a traditional point of view makes it inaccessible. So again, this accessibility is really, really important. Nicola, what's your place in the business?
So I'm one of the coaches. We have lots of male and female coaches, and can I just start off by saying that I like cocktails, I like wine, I like beer, and I like prosecco too.
Same.
And most of our sessions, usually when we finish sort of a 6-week project, most of our sessions end with either alcohol, cake, that sort of stuff.
All the naughty stuff.
Fluid. We have the pit flasks, it's all that kind of thing. So our class, our sessions, what Alistair's sort of set up here is absolutely groundbreaking in golf, which sounds ridiculous that but golf was one of these sort of archaic games that no one wanted to play, and he's really turned it upside down. And one of our catchphrases is "Dare to be different." And we're always thinking of ways to just make it different. It's back in the day, it used to be that you'd stand on a driving range and just hit these golf balls one after another, and sort of just hit balls. And that's so boring. That's not what golf is. Golf is about going out for a nice walk, looking at the sunshine or rain as it is today. It's raining, by the way, here in South Wales. And just going out and just having a chat with your friends, or if you want to be more competitive, you can have the competitive side, but if you just want the chatting side, you can have that. Nice bit of exercise, and just getting out in the fresh air. It's a phenomenal for mental health. It's a brilliant sport for mental health.
And also, it's one of the first sports that are opening back up its doors to people on the other side of lockdown. And I know lots of us right now are looking for ways to, I think one of the most difficult things in the past 12 months has been there's been no real outlet. Yes, we can go for a walk, but actually some people don't really like walking without a purpose, don't really like walking without an end point. Like, we don't really want to, there are some people out there that don't really want to walk in a circle back round to their homes. They want to walk with intention, and even considering that golf be one of those things to access is just it's such an alien and new and refreshing concept. The other thing as well, and I mean, Pixie makes a really valid point here, is I'd love it, but I'm clearly not the golf looking type. So I think Pixie would agree with me if I say she's quite alternative looking, as am I. I'm a heavily tattooed, crazy haired. I don't kind of look like, in inverted commas, the perfect pink visor type that would go and play golf. And again, what about that? How do we start to get involved in that if we think that some of it's based on looks, Nicola?
Yeah, I mean, that's where this program is so different to lots of other sort of coaching programs out there, because we do try and put out there that everyone is welcome. Anyone, any walk of life, anyone at all, just come along. It's so hard to sort of explain to people that golf is a sport. It's a social sport. It can be a competitive sport too, and it can be a social sport. So being in the sort of industry myself, if you've got blue hair, pink hair, black hair, whatever it might be, or if you've got, you're inked up to your eyeballs, you've got a face full of tattoos, it doesn't matter. We're there to play sport, we're there to enjoy ourselves. We're there to make a community. Love Golf is about communities. We've got the community of our golfers, and then we've got the community of coaches as well. So as coaches, we've got our own community going. And it's just, it's so hard, because golf is one of those institutions that just has such a bad reputation, and and a lot of it is warranted, I have to say. But there are other things within it, like Love.Golf, like the golf courses where we're at. I've been in the industry for 40 years, and I've seen the changes. And it's a lovely sport for people, and and if you're wanting to make connections with people, and it's a great sport for families. You can play. My granddad was 90, and he was playing golf with his 10-year-old great granddaughter. And you were going out to play golf together. You go out with your kids.
it's a great leveler because it's as impactful or as gentle as you need it to be as well, right? And like I would describe myself as overweight and like running around. And if someone said, "Hey, do you want to come and play netball?" I'd probably like, yeah, but like maybe give me a couple of months to get myself in a position to be able to do that. Whereas actually, from an accessibility point of view, golf is something that so many more people can get involved with, you know, and as well, helping with things like mobility, helping with things like flexibility. It was very interesting following the golf coaches that were part of Love.Golf off of the back of this and having a new interest in following what you all do. Actually, the exercises that you do around flexibility, around things like upper body strength, around things like cardio, and as well, then we get a lot of, you know, business that's done on the golf course. Like if I look sort of historically or look at the media or how the media is portrayed, if we look at, you know, entrepreneurs, like meeting up on the golf course is actually a really incredible fresh way, other than just meeting up at a restaurant and eating or getting drunk, a really fresh and healthy way of meeting up to network and do business as well, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's yeah, I mean, it's one of those sports that you don't have to be out there, you know, to play a full round of golf is about 4 hours. You know, well,
right.
Most people don't have 4 hours. I mean, I'm sure these top businessmen, they want to do it with a bit of lunch and everything. They could be out of the office for 8 hours, but most of us can't afford that time. But you can also just go out for an hour or 2 hours, you know, and just play 4 or 5 holes. You know, it's golf is changing now that it isn't the sort of the full sport. So yeah, we have lots of people meet with friends and business associates, and they just go out and chat and play. And yeah, I recently learned to play tennis, and I had all the same issues about what to wear, what I looked like, would I be terrible, would I make friends, would I embarrass myself, you know, all those things that I know.
Would I just keep swinging and missing?
Yeah, people think about when they come for golf lessons. I had exactly the same thing when I was trying to learn tennis. So I get where people are coming from with golf, but you know, if you don't try it, if you don't try, you'll never know.
Right. And there's great lessons to be learned from the game as well. Like I've been really blessed to have, you know, seen people like Tony Robbins do personal development coaching, who always comes back to golf and always come back to things like learning about incremental change and applying incremental change. So he tells a story around someone who's just like hitting the ball and he just keeps missing, or he hits the ball and he just goes off in a completely different direction, but actually by changing incrementally his stance, changing incrementally the way that he swings, changing incrementally, actually you can apply the things that you learn on the golf course to other areas of your life as well. I think there's a lot of things that we can learn within that space that allow us to take each other out of context. What do you think?
Yeah, one of the things that Alistair was keen to sort of promote within this project is for us to just get our golfers out there trying, you know, and to explore and expand. And our job really isn't to coach them or to teach them, it's to facilitate their development and their learning, you know, and they learn so many things about themselves, because golf is a tricky sport, you know, and the point, and Alistair I'm sure can sort of expand on this a bit more, but it's about people exploring themselves and, you know, and learning themselves, you know, and it's
sorry, Nicola, go on, carry on.
No, come on, you crack on.
Well, I think, no, you're absolutely right, and it was one of there's a few unique components to Love.Golf, and I think, you know, just looking at the comments, you can see there's some perceptions there that need to be broken down. So we don't care what anybody wears or what they look like. They don't really care about gender. This is a women's coaching program, but it's all about just playing golf and having an experience. And then the other side of it really is that it's built upon some really robust learning theory, and we apply that through the coaches. So like as Nicola says, traditionally a golf lesson, and probably we'll see it in the comments if we ask, would be, what does a golf lesson look like? Well, traditionally it is someone like me, a bloke, standing in front of a group saying, do this, do that, do this. That's not learning. That's just telling somebody what to do.
Right.
They have no input. Learning is all about constructing knowledge and contextualizing it So standing telling someone what to do is not going to create any longevity of skill, or like you say, Dani, you're not learning into business, whether it's other areas as well. We've just got to get out there and do it. And so there's that kind of the research. So the coach has to remove themselves from being this dictatorial figure that thinks they know everything, and can apply it to everyone.
Right.
Move to one side, and in this case, for our projects, let the women and the group explore and find out what they can do and what they might need help with. And basically the coaches are just being told to just stand back. And I don't see it's a lot different than parents and children, where we want our children to do something, so we say, have a go at this. And hopefully
it's that holding of the space, isn't it? I think it's the holding of the space. And I think one of the things, if you draw in the analogies for life and draw in the analogies for business as well, we don't allow ourselves to get anything wrong. It's, it's intrinsically not good for our psyche to get things wrong, because we're told that we must get things right. And I think that instills a lot of fear in trying new things, and actually allowing yourself, again, to take yourself out of context and put yourself in the context of golf or sport. You allow yourself to fail and realize that it's safe, and actually you're not failing, you're just learning. And by stretching that muscle and taking that muscle out to the gym by engaging in something like this will pay dividends. And that's why having hobbies that sit within sport are so healthy and so helpful, because all of these analogies that we draw, life is business and business is life. And if you take that out into your hobbies, then you what you learn, you draw over into your kind of muggle life, into your business life, so to speak. What do you say?
It's funny because a lot of the women that come for lessons, most of them tend to have a husband who plays golf, because that's who we tend to get through the doors. And those who do, we sort of do the first lesson. I always warn them that, what's going to happen. So, I'm not going to teach you, you're going to explore. I'm going to facilitate your learning and just help you and keep you safe. And, I'm going to give you a virtual hug, as we're doing it, because I can't actually hug them.
We can't actually hug.
And then I see them standing there, and they're sort of trying to grip like this, and they're sticking their bottoms out, and they're lifting their heads up and keeping their heads down, and I'm saying, what are you doing? Oh, my husband gave me a lesson before I came. Oh, okay, and it's always the husband or the neighbour, the male neighbour. They know. You tell them what to do, and it's like, just forget. And if they tell you, and then the second lesson comes, and they come along, and they're doing it, and I'm like, what are you doing? Well, my husband. And you're like, oh my gosh. So, it's a bit like football when everyone's a manager, everyone's a golf coach in golf.
Right, absolutely. So having, so having professionals like yourself to facilitate those kinds of sessions. So how do those sessions work then? So say, for example, because I'm going to put something out to you lot listening right now. I feel like we need like a Queen Bee golf situation. We need a Queen Bee golf meetup. So if you are up for an IATQB golf social, I need you to tell me in the comments that that's something that you want to do, and then let's work something out with Love.golf to make sure that we can make that happen. So how do we access the coaches from Love.golf? So what do we do? Do we is that a one-to-one thing? Is that a group thing? So say, for example, I'm like here saying I've got a group of incredible human beings like right now who want to have a social, but we don't have a clue. We have no idea about golf. None of us, you've seen the comments, like none of us have accessed it. None of us look like golfers. I mean, I've got my visor, but that's about it. What happens then? What do we do?
Visor, Dani. Sorry. We do have a dress code, actually. I've just signed a new dress code. It is no visors.
I feel cheated.
Yeah, just have to send it back. Sorry.
So we've got already Emma Roscoe. Yes, let's do it. My local love.golf is only down the road. I'm so up for it. Yes, Pixie. Lily, hey Lily. It is down. Amazing. So we've definitely got people that are interested. What would that look like? Would it be like 1-to-1, or say for example, someone could get to a social? How does the facilitation work? How does the coaching work?
Okay, I'll set the scene, and then Nicola can pick it up. So we'll talk about booking a bit later. But so imagine we're going to do it, Dani. Right? We've got. I'm
excited.
Our venue, and it looks like it's just down the road from where Pixie lives, so we're okay. So we're in
the Midlands.
We're ready to go. So we'll do it in a group scenario. So groups are a bit tricky, i.e. size at the moment, because COVID regulations and guidelines change daily. But it looks like when golf comes back from the 29th of March that we can coach in fairly large groups again. So there are probably going to be 8 or 10 of you plus a coach. Okay, let's say.
I'm excited.
So we'll provide all the gear, and you can wear whatever you like, and we'll meet at the golf club, or maybe we'll meet outside the golf club, and then we'll all go en masse to the venue. And then we'll just get on with it straight away. So we'll have just a little bit of an introduction, kind of explain what's going to happen, just to make sure there's no surprises, and just get loads of chat. And so we'll just have a really informal chat, just like we're doing now, just making sure everyone is safe and sound and kind of feels, comfortable in the environment. And so this will then be the big moment. We'll then just hand out some golf clubs and say, right, okay, we'll probably be on a practice area on a range just away from the golf course, and we'll just say, just have a go. Let's see what happens. and we'll just let the group have a go, and they'll probably work in smaller groups. And as a coach, we'll kind of be there to keep everyone safe and sound. But we're not going to, and I appreciate the irony of this statement, we're not going to be that husband, dad, granddad, son who thinks they know it all. We're just going to step back and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And what will happen is, well, I'd be interested to see in the comments. So there's quite a few people that say they're up for it, so it's brilliant. What do you think is going to happen if we just give you a golf club and you're safe, so you can't damage anything or anybody? We give you a club and some golf balls. What do you think is going to happen next?
What do you lot think? Jojo wants to be a sassy swinger. I'm not sure it's that kind of party, Jojo, but so I think, and I know that you guys have popped some comments in, but I imagine there'll be some people that hit the ball, there'll be some people that don't hit the ball, and there'll be some people that are frustrated and disappointed, and some people that will be elated that they actually managed to hit the ball. I think it'll be a mixed bag. Yeah,
definitely be mixed. And people, some people might have played sport before, and so there might be transitional skills, etc. So you will get a mix. But what you will find, so that might be for the first one, Dani, right? So some will hit and some will, and if you hit, you shout and you make loads of noise, and if you don't, you kind of have another go. That's what we would just do for like 5 minutes. And what you'll find is that just over a few minutes, so people will say at the end of 5 minutes, what happens if somebody's still missing it? I don't know, because I've never had that happen in 10 years.
Right.
And I think that's the real key learning point, is that people think, I can't do this.
Right.
They've been shaped to believe that they can't do it. And so then coaches apply knowledge and confuse them even more.
Right.
And then they can't do it. If you just leave somebody alone, so just have another, again, going back to like the children and mum and dad saying, have another go, just a bit of reassurance, everyone will hit a golf ball.
Yeah, and it's that persistent. Again, there's so many analogies for life and for business as there is for golf. Persistence creates resistance sometimes. Sometimes we try so hard that we get in our own heads about it. It's a very good lesson in relaxing around it and beginning to trust yourself, isn't it? When you start to do that thing, when you start to work it out for yourself instead of getting frustrated. I think a lot of us, particularly women, carry with us this, like you say, this fear of getting it wrong. Almost, I can imagine if I went to go and play golf with my husband and I missed the first one, my husband's laughing at me. So you missed it. And then that'll, in my mind, that's me getting frustrated. So I go again, guess what? I miss again because now I need to hit it. So when you actually allow for that relaxation around it and take the pressure off, then it makes a massive difference, right?
Yeah, you've got to create the right environment. And as you say, that's just across life. That's not just golf. And that's where we kind of, we make sure that the coaches are comfortable to do that, because that's a real challenge for a coach to actually stand back, because they need to show everybody that they know what they're talking about,
right.
And to prove that they know. And if they're confusing the person, well, but I know what I'm talking about, you can't do it. And we've got to change that kind of that attitude, really. And you're right, and it is different. And I appreciate the irony of me that's saying it, but it is different. It's, I've got 3 boys that are grown up and they love sport and they were socialized in sport, and if they succeeded, it was brilliant and they were rewarded for it, and if they didn't succeed, well, they tried again and they did okay. I've got a granddaughter and she's 5, and her attitude already to sport is really different. She's already showing these signs of being judged, fear of failure, and that's really worrying. And so she's only 5, and yet already they are the signs.
Scared of getting it wrong. And again, these are things that our kids take out with them into their teenage years. So Poppy, for example, my eldest daughter's 13 and doesn't really like to try at sport in a similar way that I don't, because you're frightened of getting it wrong. She's frightened of not winning. She's frightened of not being the best at it, because the people that are the best at it are the people that celebrate it. And rightly so, you should be celebrating our people that are achieving 100%. And I'm not the hugest fan, I guess, in the, everyone gets a medal for taking part sort of thing. However, striking that balance between it being safe to fail and tweak and get things right and participate, that's the safest thing, because actually the more people that participate, the better the communities are, the stronger it becomes, the more it grows, the more interesting it gets, the more lively it gets. It just it becomes a snowball of awesome. Whereas if nobody's trying because everybody's scared, then you can't create anything. And I think as well, Alistair, saying the irony of you sort of heading this up, I think it's an incredible thing that we need our men to be saying, women, come and join us in this space. Like, we welcome you. We want to share the stage. We want to share the course with you. And thank you for doing that, instead of it being quite closed. Oh, women can't play golf. Women can't do this. So I don't think it's ironic. I think it's necessary. And for us, thank you for making it accessible. We're coming to get you. Jojo's saying, when are we doing this? Can't think of a better way to spend the day. I think Nicola should come and look after us.
Yeah, definitely. I mentioned alcohol and cake, wouldn't it?
We're here and swinging, so it seems. So how has the last 12 months affected golf and the coaching of golf? Because we've not been able to do it. So it's not been something we've been able to access. How have people been accessing you? How have you managed to stay motivated, I guess, during the last 12 months?
Well, we've had a bit of a mixture, because golf was one of the first sports back after the first lockdown. When pretty much nothing else was, and golf was. So from a industry perspective, golf has boomed last year.
Right.
It's kind of gone in and out of lockdown, but it was a sport that people could play, when other sports just weren't open. So like you say, everyone was been wanting to get outside, and so golf was able to kind of meet that demand. But it did tend to be more individual experiences. It was quite hard to do group coaching, because obviously we stuck to the rule of 6. So for Love Golf, we got through the year, but we had to do it in limited sizes. But it was really important that we could keep it going, so that hopefully now so golf comes back on 3 weeks time, and as I say, group size will be bigger, so now we can really start pushing ahead.
Brilliant.
because it will be, you know, it's going to be really important, like you said earlier, to be outside and to take advantage of being able to meet with people and some decent weather and some open spaces. But like you touched on earlier, I think it's really important that, yeah, you can do that. You can go for a walk, but actually, why don't you do something? Have some time for you to actually achieve some personal success. And you can do that within these, you know, within these projects. And then, you know, we'll kind of keep building and building it really this year. But we were lucky because golf was able to come back, so it was able to boom.
Yeah,
although there was a lot of
situation.
blokes playing last year. There was a lot of blokes playing, and we now need to address that again, really, and really push that to for that equality again.
Really.
We had a lot of golf at home as well. So during the actual lockdowns, myself and I know a load of my fellow coaches were all doing these home golf things because people were saying, "Oh, I can't do golf." So we were getting them out. You can get these sort of airflow balls that don't destroy houses and glass and stuff. And we were doing things, you know, I mean, the boring stuff like putting on the carpets, but we were putting toilet rolls at the top of stairs and sort of chipping up and trying to knock the toilet rolls like 10-pin bowling. Out in the back gardens, trying to chip into ponds, and I was out the front of my house trying to chip over the house. And just, you know, just to make, because golf can be fun, you know, you don't have to be at a golf course either to try golf. I was out on a bike ride the other day and I live by the beach, and there were these two guys on the beach chipping into an umbrella on the sand. But what was really funny though was they had their golf hats on with Titleist, which is a golf brand, at the front, and they both had their white gloves on. I mean, really?
Yes, they showed up for that umbrella. I love it. But it's that, isn't it? We forget how to play. We forget, and I don't just mean play golf, but even going back and doing it in that way, and with the toilet rolls and the chipping over the house and all of this sort of stuff, it just allows for this play space that we don't allow ourselves in so many areas of our life. And I think that, you know, even entertaining the idea of bringing that joy back in is very, very exciting. I mean, I, for one, as with many of you watching now, are definitely up for a Queen Bee social in the spring, later on in the spring. So we'll definitely have a conversation about that. But tell me, you lovely pair, what are you excited about other than the golf course is actually opening back up in 3 weeks' time? Is there any events that are coming up? Is there anything that we could get involved with in the meantime? What are you excited about?
Well, we are definitely excited about being able to do our projects again. So when golf starts back, we're going to give it a couple of weeks just to, because it'll be chaos. It's going to be total chaos. And so I'd rather just get that out of the way first. So really for us, it's like kind of mid-April onwards. Then we're going to start to run some projects. We're going to start to create some communities and then start to bring the women together and so that we can feel that we're all part of something again. Yeah. And we've got, you know, I've had a community of over like 400 women involved at my place, and a coach up in Scotland's got 400, and other coaches have got 50 here and there. And we're really going to try this year to bring those all together. And then, like you're saying, really just work with different groups. I think, actually, I don't particularly want to do golf, but I'll be up for this. We'll do this and just make them really good experiences where we can hopefully take what we've learned over the last year and think, do you know what, we're going to really do it this time and make the most of it. So lots of projects, lots of standalone events, really, and kind of increase the number of coaches that we have and really build a community for 2021.
It sounds absolutely fantastic, and I cannot wait to be a part of it with you guys. I can't wait to cheer you on from the sidelines. I can't wait to see you on the course. I can't wait for us to do our little IATQB thing in the not too distant future. Alistair Spink, thank you. Nicola Stroud, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for the work you do with bringing women into more sporting areas and allowing it to be more accessible. I can't wait, as many of you watching, can't wait to get involved. And we will talk soon. I have got no doubt in my mind. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for the
I want
comment.
to get my Be Inspired tickets now.
Yes, get your Be Inspired tickets. Tell your Love.golfers as well. There is an incredible affiliate program. I'll talk to you about it in a little bit. Right. Thank you so much to the team from Love.golf. What an interesting conversation this morning, right? I am a bit fired up about an IATQB social. I'm a bit fired up about an IATQB. I don't know about you, I quite like the idea of us getting a little bit of golf in our lives and sort of creating our own little like women's space for golf and business and all of that sort of stuff. But turning up like this, like, I'm absolutely here for it. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We have got the rest of the week together. We'll be here every single morning at 9:30 for the show at Rise Up Show. Please make sure that you get your Be Inspired tickets right now. Go to imthequeenbee.co.uk/be inspired. Get your tickets there, and we will send you details of how you get involved with our affiliate scheme. We have a competition going on with our affiliate scheme as well. The person that sells the most tickets to their communities will win an opportunity to win some prizes worth over £4,000. Very, very exciting. Please do make sure you get your tickets and get involved with that. For those of you that are saying that, you know, money's a little bit tight, you only need to sell 4 as an affiliate to get the cost of your ticket back. So you can make it so that you can afford it, right? Okay, have an incredible day. What day is it today? I don't even know. Wednesday, it's hump day or it's Wicked Wednesday, however you want to do it. Go and rip it up. Let me know what you do. Go make sure you follow me over on Instagram as well, at the Queen Bee Dani, and go and join the IATQB How, which is our free community where we share each other's challenges and share each other's successes and cheer each other on and build each other up. I will see you tomorrow at 9:30. Take care, everyone. Love you. Bye.